Hey y'all, what's up? It has been a minute. Let me see how long it's been. It has been 71 days since I posted a YouTube video. That's just not okay. If you know me, you know that I love making videos. And you know that I constantly talk about how making YouTube videos and personal projects is the greatest thing ever. It's my favorite thing to do. It fulfills me. It gives me purpose. So you might say, why, Dustin? Why has it been 71 days? I could give you a litany of reasons, honestly, but I was driving to the gym today and I think I nailed down the number one reason, the number one thing that stops me from making things. And that is overthinking. I overthink things a lot, like a lot. I'm doing it right now. That's something I do in a lot of areas of my life, but it particularly cripples making videos because I'll have an idea and I'll be like, okay, so that needs to be the absolute best cinematography ever. It needs to have, you know, a really good storyline. It needs to basically be the best thing I've ever made. And I should probably spend weeks and weeks writing and producing and trying to create this thing. Or I'll sit there and be like, well, does the algorithm care about that idea? Do any human beings care about that idea? Is anyone gonna watch that? And I'll go down this rabbit hole and very quickly convince myself that no, I shouldn't make that video. I should just do something else. And I wanted to share kind of my tips on how I overcome that personally. So let's talk about kind of my ideas on how I overcome that, how I overcame that today. And now, by the time I get done filming this, I will have filmed 2 YouTube videos. That's a big deal for me. But first, let's switch locations so that visually you don't get bored. Come on. I think Winston heard me say, come on. Where should I go? Now I'm overthinking. It doesn't matter. You don't care. Okay, so the number one way that I overcome overthinking things is usually I don't. I've had a decent amount of caffeine today and I watched a Casey Neistat video earlier. So that's what this is. Okay, so seriously, I do actually have some tips on how I overcome this. Let's talk about number one, and that is working out. If I work out in the morning, it gets my brain going and kind of my self-esteem going so nicely. It gets me so hype and like physically feeling good about myself, mentally clear, that I feel like I can succeed the rest of the day. Because no matter what, I've already succeeded, at least on one thing. Like I'm not a complete wash, which is totally fine. You don't have to succeed every day. You don't have to be productive every day. Now I'm rambling. I'll give you an anecdote. So today I knew I wanted to make some personal projects. I delivered a client project yesterday, so I was gonna take today and make some stuff for me, for the YouTube channel. I had one scripted out. I wasn't really feeling it. And I was just sitting around letting the hours pass. What do I make? What do I make? I need to have something that I'm passionate about, but something that's also interesting, something that people care about, but that will also do well in the algorithm, all of the things. But I knew, like, regardless of what I make, I'm gonna go to the gym. So I was like, forget it. I'm going to the gym, took my pre-workout, and this happens every single time, but some magical mix of anhydrous caffeine and the endorphins and dopamine and serotonin, whatever that I get from working out, they merge into this beautiful thing where on my drive to and from the gym, I have like 20 ideas. So that's something I always know if I'm struggling to think of ideas or struggling to kind of overcome and get started, I go work out. Which brings us to number 2. This one is a little bit more focused on creative ideas, and it's so powerful. It's crazy to me how well this works every single time. And that is just making something, just get started. In one of his older videos, Matty Hapoya talked about creating things spawns more creative ideas, and it is the most magical, oh my gosh, it's the most magical thing. Like I said, I had this one video that I scripted out. I was very hype about it 2 weeks ago when I made the script, and I looked at it today and I'm like, I don't really feel like talking about that. It's just not where my headspace is right now, but I knew it was the only thing I had ready. And I knew that if I just started making that video, I would then have other ideas like this one. And immediately, before I even started making the video, just when I let my brain decide after I work out, I'm gonna make the one I scripted, even though I don't really feel like it, immediately I was like, well, what about this whole like overthinking thing? And here we are. I'm almost done with this one, and if I wasn't going somewhere, I would most likely be shooting 2 more videos. It's beautiful how letting your brain be creative and letting your brain and your soul kind of decide, oh, we're making things now. I guess you like switch your brain into idea mode. That's what it feels like to me. If you're sitting there struggling, trying to figure out what the heck to make, just start on something. Even if you trash that idea later, you might have one trash video and then 3 great videos. Or whatever you do, graphics, I don't know, writing. We'll just do a little conclusion in the kitchen. To kind of wrap this up, some ideas definitely deserve to be well thought out. Some ideas definitely deserve to be planned out, produced, written, scripted. Some topics are crucial enough to where you really need to think through what you're saying, what you're putting out into the world to make sure you're not, I don't know, spreading garbage or falsehoods or negativity or whatever. But sometimes it's okay to just make something, to just act on your idea, be creative, be the artist that you are, and freaking make something. Sometimes, like with this video, I just need to make it. I need to take the idea that has come into my head and start acting upon it. Because if I don't, then I'll sit there and come up with 20 reasons to not make it. It's not original, no one cares, it's not gonna do well in the algorithm, it's not worth my time to make it. Literally, I could convince myself out of making anything. This is fun. I feel like we're really connecting right now. I mean, you right now are just a camera. I mean, not just, sorry, just a camera. You're the Sony a7S III. All right, y'all, I appreciate you listening to me rambling. This is really fun for me. If this is something that you also kind of struggle with when you're trying to make things, drop it in the comments down below. Let's talk about it. I have other things that stop me from making personal projects that I love to chat about. These topics are the best because it's not like, I mean, I love talking about gear, but it's not like, drop your favorite lens in the comments down below. Like, no, like tell me your struggles as a human and an artist and let's talk about it. Okay, that's all I have. Goodbye, I love you. I'll see you in the next video.